Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Join hosts Dan Melnick and Qasim Masood as they explore big ideas, limitless possibilities, and engage with visionaries, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders who dare to dream big, get inspired, motivated, and find practical tips for personal growth. Think big, dream bigger, and ignite your potential.
Welcome to the Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Today, our guest is Vincent. Vincent, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So let us know where you live and what you do.
Well, my name is Vincent Hunt. I'm the founder and CEO of the Bureau of Creative Intelligence. We're basically a post-industrial economy leadership enablement company, but we act more like a community for them where they actually come in and get persistent training around what we call leadership version 2.0 or leadership 2.0. And it's really based on about 8 capacities that leadership moving into the post-industrial economy need to be thinking about and really evaluating, do they have the capacity to move into the future? So that's the business that we do.
Well, that's interesting. So what inspired you to start this business?
Well, I've been a CEO or a founder since I was 23 years old. And not to date myself, but I'm 52 years old now. And what I'm seeing is one of the greatest shifts in technology that we've probably seen in about 30 years. I've always been in the tech space, creative design, and with the emergence of AI, right? And I know it's like the big buzz. Everybody's talking about artificial intelligence, but at the core of it, it really is transforming how we actually work, how we connect with each other, how we gather information, how we synthesize that information. And at the leadership level, what I'm finding is a lot of leaders are finding themselves having to rethink their work or even rethink the way that they lead. And so what we wanted to do is become an organization that actually help leaders bridge that gap.
Oh, awesome. That's great. So in terms of marketing your business, how you're marketing it, because I believe this is a bit tricky. This is not a product, not a physical product that you can sell online. Like digital media is giving a lot of opportunities for the ones who are selling sort of physical products and for the ones who are giving some sort of services as well. But this is a unique thing. So how you are managing it?
We are super niche. We are super niche. And we understand that fully. We're not about hyper marketing. We're really all about finding individuals who are asking the big questions. And that's very far and few, right? But once we actually find an individual that's asking the bigger questions like, how are we leading in the post-industrial economy? How are we dealing with generational shifts? When they're asking really big questions like that, it really turns into the alchemy of linking with that person, watching that person, really getting an insight around what it is they're trying to achieve, and even coming to the terms of, are they a fit for the Bureau or not? You would not believe how many people we turn away from the Bureau, right? Or how many people have applied and can't get in. We're completely on the other side of the spectrum. So it's not about everybody being a part of the Bureau. There's a very select few. Right now, we have 38 active agents across multiple industries, all of them learning and training up under our training methodology, which is called Praxis Experience. But once you get in, it's a very interesting self-development, professional development platform that's unique unto itself.
Oh, that's awesome. So in terms of differentiators, I believe you have a lot of differentiators from your competitors because of the most unique aspect. So can you share some of the differentiators, some of the biggest differentiators that you have?
I think some of the biggest differentiators that we have is one, our training methodology. Our training methodology, as I just mentioned, is called Praxis Experience. It's something that we've been designing over the last 24 months. And Praxis Experience takes leaders and puts them in simulated environments using AI that adapt to what they're actually doing in real time around whatever capacity they're trying to build. So for instance, if they come in and they're wanting to learn symbiotic creativity, which is one of the things that we really specialize in, if they're going through a symbiotic creativity simulation, there's a simulated company, simulated scenario, all of this, and the AI that they're using to navigate the simulation is adapting in real time with the decisions that they're making. So for us, we know that's a completely different training model than anybody else is doing. Again, it's very exclusive. People who are within the bureau want to be developed and they want to actually gain upskilling and capability building. And that's what we specialize in. So again, we're almost like and I hate to say this, but we're almost like the Louis Vuitton of like leadership development and training, because you don't find us everywhere. We're not, again, this broad stroke video, keynote, learn the thing, check the box off certification company. We're not that. Once you get inside the bureau, it's a culture where training and development is what we do. It is the core of what we do. And building leaders for the post-industrial economy is our key to our success.
Well, that's great. So in terms of filling the gaps with all these differentiators, which gaps you're filling at this point?
The gap that we're filling is for leaders that are out there right now that are like caught in this crossroads of like, AI is coming, right? It's coming. I'm going to give you a very good example without using names. So one of our agents is actually an executive at a very, very well-known company. And again, I don't want to throw names, but she's saying that like within the organization, they're integrating AI into the systems and the things that they do and the things they even sell to their clients. But when she came to us honestly and said, I don't even know how to use ChatGPT. Like that's a whole problem, right? So you have an organization that's completely blinded by the idea that the people within the organization may want to use AI to like streamline or add efficiencies to their work. But at the exact same time, they're not upskilling them for that. They're only selling to the masses, right? What's the shiny new thing? But their leadership is being left behind and being able to leverage it as thought partners or thought concierge. And that to me, I think is the dismal space that we're in right now. So a lot of leaders are finding themselves having to reinvent their work, rethink the way that they approach their work, but they really don't have anywhere to go. Right. And so we become that place that fills in the gap for the leaders that are asking the bigger questions and looking for somewhere to go.
Oh, well, that's great. So as an expert, what do you think? I know these are your services that you're providing, but still, if you can let us know a little bit about the immediate changes in any tech-related company that really need to do because of AI.
Yeah. So okay, ask that question one more time so I'll make sure that I'm clear on, because this is one that I want to definitely dial in on.
Yeah. So I'm asking, like, let's say as an example, if there's a tech company, right?
Okay, tech
So
company.
what would be the immediate thing for them to do because of the AI? Because no, AI is the first thing. So what is the very first thing that they should do? And in terms of the you can say the executive levels, like the senior management or the executive levels. So in terms of this side, what should be the change? Because as you said, like even their management or like their executives doesn't know about it, how to do this, but they do want to make these changes in their organization. So what is the advice for them?
I think the immediate thing, so one of the things that we do within the Bureau, which I'm super proud of, about a year ago, we actually wrote a framework, and that framework is called Mirror. Mirror is one of the very first technology agnostic frameworks for the integration of responsible, ethical AI, right? So Mirror is the way that we describe it, it's a part of the business plan that should have been there, but it's not, because AI didn't exist when the business plan was written. It didn't even exist the last time they had a strategic like planning retreat, right? So what the Mirror is, it's a framework, a five-phase framework that helps organizations establish, right, the foundations and the policies before AI comes. So that's the very first piece in our mind. Our mind is we have to create this documentation and these policies, because what it does, it creates transparency for internal and external stakeholders. The reason why internal stakeholders don't want to adopt AI just on the whim is because they really don't know, is it coming to replace me? Is it coming to take my job, right? So there's displacement fear. When you go through the Mirror process, you actually create processes and procedures that say, if we're going to do something with AI, we're going to upskill you to do something more meaningful.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And when your internal teams and your stakeholders are like, oh, okay, so it's not here to replace me, it's here to advance us. And it's also going to advance me because I'll probably be doing something more meaningful. So for me to answer your question, I think the very first step is to really think about the policies and the procedures that are being put in place, the governance around AI integration. Once you do that, you create transparency and communication within the organization where now your executives don't feel threatened, or even people that are further down on the food chain, they're not feeling threatened because they understand this company, this is the way they approach AI. right?
Yeah.
I think a lot of companies need to get to that place.
Yeah, exactly. So in terms of the current scenario, within this scenario, you used word ethical AI, right?
Mhm.
So in this current scenario, what is unethical AI?
Oh, wow. Unethical AI. Let me give you a good example of this. Let me give you a good example of this. At the most basic level that we understand AI, right? AI is a machine. Like it's not human, it is a machine, right? And if you were to give AI a directive, and that directive is to create efficiencies in the company, right? So let's
Okay.
just say you and I, we own the factory. We own the factory, me and you. And right now we have 5,000 employees. 5,000 employees. A lot of them are doing mundane work, right? They're out there, they're either on the assembly line or they're doing something. They're providing value in the sense in which they're doing it, but it could be replaced by AI. Could be, right?
Okay.
So you and I, without any forethought, we deploy an AI into the system that says, find all of the efficiencies, find all the efficiencies, because we want to make our company more efficient, more cost effective, more profitable. But we haven't thought about anything else. We're only thinking about those KPIs, right? This is where the unethical component comes into play. We
Mhm.
deploy the AI, and the AI says, just did a whole, analysis of the whole system and how everything is going. You really could get rid of 3,000 of these people because we could replace it. And so what you and I do, we instantly say that saves us 3,000 people on the payroll, 3,000 people on healthcare, 3,000 people. Get rid of them. Send out the memo. No, no, send out the memo. Revelation. We're winning, right? To
Yeah.
me, that's very unethical because what we did behind all of those people who were out there, sweat and tears, blood given to our organization, doing the work. We didn't even give them an exit plan. We didn't even give them an option to like upskill or even think about anything else they could do within the organization. We just looked at it from the KPI and the bottom line perspective. Was that really ethical, what we did? Right. And I think it really boils down to like human ethics, like our own moral compass. And so that's the thing that we really, really focus on people, organization first, technology layers on top of that. But we really, really think like start thinking about if we were to get a call like that, right? If we had done the work in advance, we say, oh, okay, it says that we can release 3,000 people, but our policies say that if this comes, the decision that we have to make now is how do we upskill them? That is a part of what we do. That's ethical. Make sense?
Yeah, got it, got it. But the problem is, like on this statement, I believe there will arise a lot of questions, and I think this is something everybody should really understand. So AI is replacing jobs for sure.
Yeah,
Is
for sure.
replacing a lot of human
For sure.
every day. So let's say there is a new software that can replace the customer care agent.
Mhm.
Then, because I have seen some of the cases where we deployed these sort of systems where a customer care representative can be a bot. So
Mhm.
in these cases, I have seen that companies reduce their 80% of their employees who are doing customer care services. So, like, do you think now this will fall in the same category of unethical AI? This thing do have some other aspects as well.
I think where the unethic line for me is drawn and the way that we view it at the Bureau, the unethic component is doing that without you ever knowing that I'm even doing it. It's just going to hit you one day. You're going to come in and it's going to hit you. And when it hits you, you now have to make the decision of life. And of course, we understand under the old paradigms of like industrial economy, like leadership, industrial economy leadership, it's like management top down. If you're at the low, if you're at that place in the totem pole and that place gets replaced, you're out, right? But we live in a time now where things are way more dynamic than that, right? So let's just say that 80% of those people could be replaced. Would a more ethical thing say, if this comes, there's a chance that you will be replaced in that thing that you're doing. But if you want to stretch yourself, we have a whole nother tier where you can become like a client success person, right? It's going to have more demands, it's going to have more pull on you. We can train you to get there, but don't say that we didn't tell you. Ethically, we're telling you you can go there, but you have to choose, right? Again, I think the unethical line is drawn where you're not clear, you're not
Mhm.
transparent. You're just walking by because the thing that people are afraid of with AI is the black box. They don't know what's in the black box.
Yeah.
And leaders have to take the responsibility of saying, this is what's in the black box, ladies and gentlemen. This thing can replace you. It absolutely can. It can do what you do 24/7. It doesn't ask for healthcare or anything. But if it does, here's an option for you. Now, this option is going to stretch you. Your check boxes are not going to be the same. The demand on you will not be the same. But you can go there, but don't say that we didn't tell you that you could go there. Do you see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
again, it turns into transparency and clarity from leadership, and leadership just has to be honest. Even with the bureau, we've gone through a few pivots in our journey, right?
Hmm.
At every pivot, I'm making sure that the memo is going out. This is what's happening. If you do not fit this paradigm, you're going to have to rethink your work, or you just don't fit. But you can never say that Vince never ever told you the truth, right?
Yeah, I
We're
got
going
it.
into we're going into a time where a lot of people are going to have to make some really tough decisions. And as leaders, what we have to do is be able to be transparent and have really, really great communication with the people that we're leading, because it's about to be an extraordinary shift in the way things are being done. And we have to lead people into that time.
Completely makes sense. I believe I learned something new today for sure. And I believe in this case, a lot of awareness campaign is required because even I am in the field of technology, running a tech company, and I learned today for sure. And I can bet there are a lot of other people who doesn't know about these things, and even they doesn't know about the differences. So I believe in this area we do need some awareness, we do need some education. So because of this thing, are you running any educational or awareness programs or not?
Yeah, that is what we do. That's all we do, right? So within the bureau, we're always delivering insight, education, upskilling, capability building around the post-industrial economy, right? Because as human beings, because at the core of this is human beings. Like that's what it is. I'm old school. I'm 52 years old. I've been in the game a long time, and I have this affinity for the organization is the sum of all of its people, right? We're going to
Yeah.
make leaner, meaner organizations. We're going to be doing that, right? But at the exact same time, I believe as leaders, it's also our responsibility to charge people with really
Yeah.
rethinking the work, all of them, right? If we don't do that, all we're doing, we're looking out for our self-interest. Like, okay, I can optimize this company. I can actually do with 5 people what I used to do with 20. I can do that. Bet. Close my eye to the rest of the 15 people, right?
Yeah.
I don't have to really worry about them. I'm on my thing, right? I'm on my thing. I'm doing my thing. But at the end of the day, I think post-industrial economy leaders, us, because this is where we landed, got the golden ticket, right? We're here.
Yeah.
We have to have a new mandate for leadership. We have to have a new mindset around leadership. Because what we're about to see, especially in the Western, in the United States, you're about to see one of the biggest economic downturns we've ever seen. People are going to be getting displaced in a Herculean way.
Yeah.
And if
Indeed.
you don't have leaders telling the truth, it's going to be real bad, right? But leaders who are telling the truth will show a new path forward, right? And that new path forward, there is more prosperity. There is ways that people can rethink their work and do things, right? But we have to be the ones to have that conversation and do it. So the Bureau of Creative Intelligence is uniquely placed to have the conversation and say the hard stuff that nobody really wants to say, and it's okay. We're even saying the things that people aren't even thinking about. If I could tell you how many times people say, "Oh my God, I'm thinking about AI, I want to integrate it into my company," but and they're looking at the shiny new thing. The very first thing I say is, "Okay, what is your policy for that integration? What is the governance?"
Nobody have nobody have that. I can bet. I mean many people are
Let me see the mindful integration documents. Let me see the responsible practice documents. Let me see the reflective practices documents. Let me see the organizational reasoning. Are all your stakeholders on the same sheet of music? And when you start asking them these questions, they don't know. The reason why they don't know, no shame, is because they've never had to. All of this is very new. So what we're doing is saying, step back, make sure the foundation in which you're going to lay these technologies on top of is a solid foundation, and that the decisions that you're making are clear and transparent, that all the stakeholders, internal and external, understand what's about to happen, because it's going to happen. We have to progress, right? But I think that's the level of candor, if I can use that word, that we need as leaders today. So that's what the Bureau of Creative Intelligence fortifies, we stand on, and we try to help leaders transition into what we call Capacity 2.0, or the new leadership OS, right?
Yeah, that completely makes sense. And I believe there's a lot for people to learn because whenever new things are coming, they are coming along with pros and cons, and we
Yeah.
really need to know about the cons for sure. Awesome.
Yeah.
So I really don't want to end it at this time. I really want to learn a lot of more things, and it is a really interesting conversation. But we have a limitation of the time. So at the end, can you please give us the biggest piece of advice for the others who are entrepreneurs, like who are running the businesses?
Yeah. I think that the biggest piece of advice that I can give at this time is honestly to double down on humanness. I know that might sound very like ethereal and weird, but like we're moving into the time of machines. And moving into the time of machines, you're going to have brand new workspace ecosystems, right? If you think about the ecosystems that we have now, the ecosystems that we've like been operating on up until this point, you've got like leadership, right? Whether it be managers, executives, all that. Then you've got like operators, people who are actually in the company doing the things that they do from day to day. Then you have support teams. The support teams pretty much support the operators who are doing what they're doing. There's that. A pretty clear, and in there's a very thin layer of technology, right? This technology could be like your content management systems or your customer, support systems and all the stuff that you do to like really add efficiencies to your work. That's a very thin layer, right? But what happens when that ecosystem change and now all of a sudden you have agentic AI that's operating as other people within the organization, right? This is very real. And the agentic AI is operating in very high, they're in the operation layer, right? So you ask the question, Vince, why do you say humanness is the thing that would be the advice that I would give? Because as we move forward, I can guarantee you the companies that still feel human, even though we're integrating some of these really beautiful
Mhm.
technologies, the ones that still feel human, because humans have still been made a priority, not just for the
Yeah.
sake of saving the horse and buggy, right? Because cars came. It's not for that. It's
Yeah.
for the sake of human beings will connect to human beings from now until the end of time. Humanness is a competitive advantage.
Yeah.
So while you're leveraging these technologies, upskill the humans to become higher versions of themselves, and your organization will stand out because it will still feel human.
So awesome. That's beautiful. That's beautiful, Vincent. I really like that advice. And well, thank you, Vincent. Thank you for joining us today. It was really nice talking to you. And as a last thing, can you please share with our viewers how they can reach you? You can share your website, email, whatever, the social media
Yeah,
handle, whatever you want to.
you can reach me out on social media everywhere as Vincent Hunt. I was one of those lucky dudes, early adopters, so my name is Vincent Hunt everywhere. So you can find me everywhere at Vincent Hunt. You don't have to add like 66989 at the end of my name. It's just Vincent Hunt, right? So you can find me on all the social networks at Vincent Hunt. Our website is bureauofcreativeintel.com. We're always talking about the things that we're doing, our frameworks, our methodologies, and the things that we're working on. So there's that. Or you can just shoot me an email, Vincent at bureauofcreativeintel.com, right? I'm completely an open book. We're at a very interesting time and we're doing really interesting work. And I would love to connect with anybody who wants to jump in.
That's great. Well, thank you, Vincent, again for joining us today, and we will stay in touch. And thank you. Have a good day. Bye bye.
Appreciate it.